I never thought a simple act, handing someone a bottle of water, would change the course of my life forever. It had been 5 days since I left my apartment in Denver and started driving south toward Arizona. After my fiancée left me 6 weeks before our wedding, I couldn't stay in the city anymore. The walls of our old apartment still smelled like her perfume. Her pictures were still hanging. I needed space. I needed silence. So I packed a tent, a few supplies, and drove until my phone lost signal. I ended up somewhere in the Painted Desert, close to the Navajo reservation. I wasn't there to find myself. I didn't even know who I was trying to find. I just wanted to be left alone. I camped near a small spring I found by accident while wandering off a dirt road. There was no one around, no hikers, no campers, just cactus and wind. That afternoon, the sun was brutal. I sat under the shade of a rock, sipping from my water jug, when I saw something move in the distance. It was a man. He was walking slowly, his figure shimmering in the heat waves. He wore worn moccasins, a leather pouch slung over his shoulder, and a thick, weathered coat despite the heat. His long grey hair was tied behind his back, and his eyes, sharp and deeply set, were fixed on me. At first, I froze. You don't expect to see someone in the middle of the desert, especially not someone walking alone with no supplies. He didn't say a word when he reached me. He simply raised his hand in a calm greeting, and then, with a cracked voice, said, "Water?" I handed him my jug. He took it carefully, like it was made of gold, and drank deeply. His hands shook slightly, and his eyes closed as the water hit his throat. I realized then how dehydrated he must have been. He drank for almost a full minute before handing the jug back. "You have a kind heart," he said softly. "Not many would share with a stranger in the desert." I shrugged. "You looked like you needed it." He nodded once. I did. He looked around at my camp, then up at the sky. For a few seconds he seemed to be listening to something, maybe the wind. Then he turned back to me. "I am the leader of a nearby tribe. Most people forget we're still here. They see the land, but they don't see the people. You saw me." I didn't know what to say to that, so I just nodded. He gave me a strange smile. "You'll see me again." And with that, he turned and walked away into the desert, the same way he had come. Quiet, mysterious, almost ghost-like. That night I couldn't stop thinking about him. Who was he, really? A tribal leader, he said, but why was he alone in the desert with no water? Was he testing me? I went to sleep confused, but by morning, confusion turned into shock. When I unzipped my tent and stepped out, I was no longer alone. There were at least 20 people standing near my campsite. Men, women, and a few children. They had come on horseback. Some wore traditional clothing, others modern jeans and boots. I blinked, thinking maybe I was still dreaming. Then I saw him again, the old man. But now he wore a feathered headdress and a robe decorated with intricate beadwork. There was no doubt now. He truly was a tribal chief. Standing beside him were 2 women, both in their 20s, and I swear I'd never seen such beauty in my life. One had long, dark hair braided neatly, sharp cheekbones, and eyes that sparkled with confidence. The other had a softer look, gentle eyes, a warm smile, and skin like smooth earth after rain. The old man raised his hand. "You shared water with me when I had none," he said. "In our ways, water is life. You gave me life. That is not forgotten." I looked around, stunned. Okay?" He smiled again. "I came to offer something in return." I took a step back. "I don't need anything, really. I was just—" He raised his hand again to silence me. "My daughters have chosen you. They saw your kindness. They saw the way you acted without expecting anything. That is rare." The women stepped forward slightly, eyes on me. I swallowed hard. "I'm sorry," I said awkwardly. "Did you just say your daughters have chosen me?" He nodded. "Both." I was speechless. My brain tried to catch up. Was this a prank, some ancient tradition I didn't understand? I wasn't looking for love. I wasn't even looking for company. I just wanted to forget the pain of being abandoned. And now two stunning women were apparently here to marry me. I think there's a misunderstanding, I finally stammered. I'm just a guy from Colorado. I'm not... He stepped closer and looked into my eyes. You are more than that. You are someone who gave without asking. That is enough. Then, without another word, he and the others began setting up tents and fires. The two daughters stayed nearby, watching me carefully but saying nothing. I sat down by a rock, stunned. Everything in my life had flipped in 24 hours. Yesterday, I was alone in the desert, hiding from heartbreak. Today, a tribe had arrived to honor me with marriage. Was this fate, or was I losing my mind? One thing was certain. This desert wasn't just empty land. It was alive, with mystery, with tradition, and now with a future I never saw coming. I spent that first morning in stunned silence, trying to figure out whether this was real life or some kind of strange desert dream. The tribe had set up camp not far from mine. Their horses grazed near the spring. Smoke from cooking fires curled lazily into the sky. Laughter, music, and conversation filled the air, but all I could focus on were the two women sitting quietly beside the fire, watching me. I couldn't run. I didn't want to be rude, and something inside me, a curiosity, maybe even a calling, told me to stay. Later that day, the chief sat with me beneath a cottonwood tree near the spring. He handed me a carved wooden bowl filled with a sweet, earthy tea. My daughters, he began, are not children. They are strong, wise, and free. They chose you. I did not choose for them. I nodded slowly, my voice tight in my throat. But why me? I'm no one special. You gave when you didn't have to. And when we live with the land, we learn. Small actions reveal the deepest truths. You offered life, and now life offers you something back. I glanced across the clearing at the two daughters. One had her hands deep in the soil, tending herbs. The other was sharpening a knife with calm focus. What are their names? I asked quietly. He smiled. The first is Ayana. Her name means eternal blossom. She heals, sings, and listens to the wind. The second is Kiona. Her name means brown hills. She rides, hunts, and commands the wild. Are you saying I have to choose? He shook his head. Not unless your heart demands it. In our way, when two women choose one man together and the man honors them both, they may share the same path. I blinked. That's allowed? It is not common. But rare paths are meant for rare souls. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Ayana's peaceful presence, how she'd knelt to bandage a boy's scraped knee, singing softly to calm him. She had a serenity in her eyes I'd never seen before. She made the world feel quiet. But then there was Kiona. She was bold, unafraid. That afternoon she'd taken me riding. No saddle, no hesitation. We raced across the plains until my heart nearly exploded from the thrill. When she laughed, it was like thunder, wild and free. I'd never felt pulled like this before, by two women who each represented a different version of life. One calm and nurturing, the other fierce and untamed. And both had chosen me. Over the next week I stayed. I helped Kiona track animals through the hills and sat beside Ayana while she brewed healing teas and told stories of the stars. Slowly, the tribe began to feel like home. They welcomed me without question, offering food, lessons, and laughter. Ayana told me that pain leaves the body when it is shared with the earth. Kiona taught me that fear disappears when you run fast enough to leave it behind. And I began to feel something I hadn't in months, peace. But even peace comes with decisions. One evening, after a feast under the full moon, the chief came to me again. This time he spoke softly. My daughters wait for your voice. I nodded. I understand. He placed a hand on my shoulder. There is no wrong path, only the one that feels most true. That night I sat alone beneath the stars. I thought of my old life in the city, the heartbreak, the noise, the emptiness I had tried to run from. Out here, everything felt real, raw, and beautiful. I had come to the desert to disappear, but instead, I had been seen more clearly than ever before, by two women who didn't care about my past or failures, only the heart I carried now. The next morning, I asked to speak to both daughters privately. We met near the spring, where I'd first seen their father. "I came here lost," I began, "and somehow you both found me." They stood silently listening. I never thought love could look like this, two souls offering their hearts to one man. I thought I'd have to choose, but my heart doesn't want to split. It wants to grow. Yona raised an eyebrow. Ayana's lips curved into a quiet smile. "I don't want to hurt either of you," I said honestly. "But I can't lie. I feel something deep for both of you, and I've never known anything like it." Ayana stepped forward. "We've shared before," she said gently. "Stories, dreams, even silence. If we can share love too, we will." Kiona nodded. "But only if it's real. No lies, no favorites. We stand as one." I took their hands. "I'll honor both of you. I don't know what the future looks like, but I want to walk into it beside you." They looked at each other, then at me, and together they said, "Then we begin today." The tribe gathered that afternoon under the tall cottonwoods. It was unlike any wedding I'd imagined. There were no white dresses or church bells, just songs, drums, dancing, and joy. The chief placed a woven band around my wrist and tied it to both of theirs. "3 hearts, 1 path," he said. "Let it be so." People cheered. Children threw flowers made of desert blossoms. Elders blessed our union with smoke and prayers. I looked at Kiona and Ayana, two women who had offered me a future when I didn't even believe in tomorrow. And somehow, in the middle of nowhere, I had found everything. Epilogue. It's been almost a year since that day. We built a home near the spring, close to the tribe, close to the land. I've learned their ways, their stories, their rhythms. Some days I ride with Kiona, fast and wild, hunting and tracking. Other days I sit with Ayana, helping her gather herbs or sing to the plants she grows. At night, we sit around a fire, the 3 of us, under a sky that never seems to end. People in the outside world wouldn't understand. Some might judge, but we don't live for them. We live for the moment I gave water to a stranger and found a family in return.